Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. Now, before we get into the topic of today's video, I'd like to bring to your attention something very important, and that something is Quarter. Quarter, as you can see right here on the screen, is my open source alt tech alternative to YouTube, as well as an alternative to all the lying grifter video sharing sites in the alt tech world, like BitChute and Odyssey and Rumble. Quarter, in particular, is a lot more like YouTube in terms of its features and functionality. So you get full 1080p HD upload capacity, you have live streaming, you have free restreaming, you have public playlists, you have the ability to actually put a rating on your video instead of a mere age restriction like YouTube. So you can make your video rated PG, rated G, rated PG-13, rated R, rated NC-17, rated TV for mature. Whatever you want to rate your video, it gives people a better idea of what kind of content your video is appropriate for, and we let you decide that. There's also other things that YouTube doesn't have, like an Insight virtual currency that allows you to promote your channel and videos on the main page of the site without us being involved in the process at all. There's also video chat rooms, which is going to be very important and we'll show you more about later in this video. And the reason why is because today we're talking about Gab Voice, which is the alternative to Zoom that Gab has been promising for nearly 2 years. When Zoom censorship was a thing and all that stuff was going on back in the beginning of this whole moral panic over the coronavirus, Gab promised us they were going to make a Zoom alternative called Gab Voice. And here on the website, voice.gab.com, we read, "Please reserve your spot in line below and we'll reach out with the next steps as soon as we're ready. Only Gab Pro users will receive beta test invites. Go Pro here." So, in other words, in order to receive a beta test invite, you have to pay Gab money. Being a simple Gab user just isn't enough. Nope, you have to pay Gab money to test out Gab Voice. What is Gab Voice? Gab Voice is a video, audio, and text communication platform that works on any device. Create a gathering room and share a link to the video chat, screen share, and more with your friends, family, and coworkers. Gab Voice is a tool for authentic conversations with the people who matter most in your life. Spend time with grandma, get work done with a colleague, or just hang out with friends. Get your spot in line for the beta test. Reserve your spot. So, in other words, Gab Voice, which is supposed to be the big Zoom alternative, is just Gab's version of the video chat rooms that are already available on Quarter and Joshu TV. Earlier today on Gab, BearIt made the following observation. Gab Voice has been recently advertised on Gab, but JoshuTV.com already has a video conferencing platform called Meet and is free. If you have an account on Joshu TV, and you should, you can click the Meet button that appears after you click the Submit Your Videos button in the top right of the site. With Meet, you can have video conferences with family, friends, coworkers, whoever. There's no need to use Gab Voice or sign up for Gab Pro. So then Jan decided to comment on BearIt's post. Jan, in case you do not know, is someone who's rather popular relative to Gab. They have over 27,000 followers, and they're part, if I recall correctly, they are part of the Gab Welcoming Committee. So Jan is actually fairly well known on Gab and is very popular relative to the Gab community. Jan decided to comment on BearIt's post and said, "Voice is free to any participant, so nope, not just for Pro. If you want to host, then yes, a Pro account is required." BearIt responded to Jan by pointing out, "So to host, you have to pay money. That's not the case with the other services outside of Gab. Joshu TV, for example, is free." And because I couldn't resist, I decided to let Jan know, you don't have to pay any money at all to host a chat conference in the chat rooms on Joshu TV or on Quarter. You just proved that Voice, like most new Gab services, hides some, if not all, of their new services behind a paywall via a Gab Pro membership. So BearIt points out that in order to use Gab Voice in its full capacity, you have to sign up for Gab Pro, i.e. you have to pay Gab money, i.e. full use of the Gab Voice service is hidden behind a paywall. Jan comes in and saying, well, you don't have to be Gab Pro to participate in Gab Voice, but you do have to be Gab Pro to host a chat room in Gab Voice. In other words, Jan, you proved exactly what BearIt is saying here. And I'm going to show you right now that this whole Gab Voice thing is a ripoff. You can do the same thing on Quarter right now for free. So I'm already logged in on Quarter. We're on the main page of the site. You click on this upload button in the top banner. You click on the chat room option. And once it loads up, it will take you to a screen where you can create a meeting room. So here you see the last 10 attendees. You see there's no meetings available. And then you can schedule a meeting in advance. So you click on New Meet. You say, well, let's just say Video Chat Test. You click Start Now. You wait for it to load up. And then here it takes you to the room intro screen where you see you need enable microphone and camera to access. So let's join the meeting anyway. And the reason why you're not seeing my webcam now is because I'm using OBS, using it on OBS to record this. But if I wasn't using OBS, you'd see my webcam here where my logo is. So you can put your webcam on the screen and you can invite multiple people into the room. You also can screen share just like on Gab Voice, and you can also do a text-based chat, and you can also create polls here on the side. You just have to click on that little chat box button to open it up, and when you're done typing a message, so let's say test, shows up down there, and that's how you close it. But not only can you do video chats or calls here on Quarter, not only can you do text chatting, not only can you bring in multiple people and have a conversation and talk in the chat box and make polls and do all the stuff you can do on Gab Voice, but you can also live stream to your channel. So if you are the host of a room, you can actually live stream to your own Quarter channel from these rooms that you create. So the chat rooms here on Quarter offer you not only everything that Gab Voice offers you, but also allows you to live stream to your channel, which I don't think is something Gab Voice offers as far as I know, because you can't even live stream on Gab TV, so I don't think you can live stream your Gab Voice chat room over to your Gab TV channel. And if you do in the future, well, we did it first. So you don't need to spend money to use Gab Voice. You can get the exact same product with better features here at Quarter for free. The only catch is that if you want to host a room on Quarter, you have to have a Quarter account. But you don't even need a Quarter account in order to be able to join one of these rooms. As long as the person hosting the room sends you a link to the room, you can join. So as you guys can see from this video, Gab Voice is nothing but a big grift by Andrew Torba and his crew at Gab. Quarter and Joshu TV, as you saw here on this video, literally offer you the exact same product as Gab Voice, but with the addition of being able to live stream to your channel on Quarter or on Joshu TV from the rooms that you create on there. And you don't even need to have accounts on those sites in order to be able to access a room, as long as the person hosting it sends you the link. Gab Voice is a complete ripoff. They are literally putting a paywall on your ability to host a chat room on Gab Voice when no such restriction exists in the chat rooms on Quarter and Joshu TV, which literally can do all the things Gab Voice does and more. Andrew Torba is a lying grifter. He's every bit the lying grifter that he accuses people like Jared Kushner and Brad Parscale of being. And he does this in order to throw the scent off his own trail. But if you do the deep dive into Andrew Torba like I did in the past, then you know that Andrew Torba is a lying grifter. And if you want to see more evidence of Andrew Torba being a lying grifter and a censorship-loving authoritarian who bans people from his site at the behest of Jewish groups in Australia, and if you want to see how heretical of a Christian that he is, despite his claims to be a Bible-believing warrior for Christ, well then I'll leave you the link in the description box below to my entire Gab censorship playlist, where you have hours upon hours of me exposing Andrew Torba for being the fraud and charlatan that he is.